Hello everybody, it's Niklas and welcome to this new video on Wings 3D. And in this video we are going to see how to work with color. So it means we have the possibility to work with color, to add a texture, to work with the materials and these things, what we are going to see. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel if you like the content. First link on the description, the complete course Wings 3D is available. So if you want to learn this software, it will be on the first link on the description. It is a complete course, different hours of training content to perfectly master 3D modeling with this software Wings 3D. Second link on the description, the website in link with this YouTube channel. You can discover software on these YouTube channels. And second link on the description, it is like an online school. You can pick a course and learn any graphic software. So we are going to start. The first thing that I'm going to do it is to add a cube. So I will go right click here and I will create a cube, and for this cube I will define some value. So my cube will appear here and I will change the value. I will take, for example, 20 on this axis. On the y-axis, I will take, for example, 10, and on this axis, I will take, I think, 14. So I will do with something like that, 20, 10, and 14. And I will just validate. I can put also on ground if I need, and I will just validate. So after to do this work, I would like to add colors on my cube. So how to process? Here, the first things that you can do, you can go on window here and you have outliner. So concretely, when you go on window, you can dragging and moving the outliner panels directly on this area. And thanks to that, you will be able to display the preview of the material. So it means to edit the materials. So after to do this work, when nothing is selected, you can go right click here and you have the possibility to add a material. So I can add a materials and I can rename my materials. So for example, if I want to create something like metal, I will just type the name metals and I will validate here. And now you have a small panels, and thanks to these small panels, you can define first a color. So I have multiple color. You can also change the color here. I will define, for example, this color, yellow. And after you have the metallic value and the roughness value, you can see the preview appearing on this area. So metallic roughness value and metallic value as well. So something that we will do, I will put more metal value and just a little bit roughness value, like for example this one. And you can also work with the emission, how the light will be reflected, and the opacity value. But generally we keep this with one. Here you have set and ignore, so most of the time we'll just keep ignore. And I will just validate, and I created my first materials on this area. So the materials will appear here. If I want to create a second one, you can continue, you can go right click, you can create another one. If I want to create something like plastic materials, I can create plastic, I can validate, I will change a color, maybe I can define some blue color like this one. And I will not put too much metallic value and more roughness value. Let's just do, for example, what I will do about the value. I will put, yes, I will put this one, and I will reduce this one maybe like this. So after to do this work, I will just validate. How to apply a material to your object. To apply a material to your object, you select the object first, and then here you can select the material that you want, and you can go right click assign to selection. And now I have the blue material appearing here. I can also, if you want, deactivate on the view option the show edges and the show back face. And my material will appear here. If I want to apply the metal materials, I can select all the objects and I can go right click and I can assign to the selection, assign to the selection. And now you can see this material will appear here. You can also switch and activate, for example, this preview. You can also deactivate the view, and thanks to that we can obtain this preview, as you can see. So after to do this work, if you want to edit the material after, it's definitely possible. You can just click on the material. For example, I have the metal material, right click, edit materials, and I can adjust the material value with the different option. If I want to put this in red, for example, I can adjust and put this in red. So you can go right click, you can edit the materials again after that. So this is how you can add color. If you want to add color on specific faces, you can do the same thing, but you select a face. So you can switch the selection mode. For example, if I click on this face, I can go on plating, asting to selection. And now on this face, you can find this blue color. If I click on this face, I can go on plastic, right click, assign to selection, and now I have two materials on my cube. So this is the first things to understand. Now we are going to see how we can add something like texture. So we'll repeat this type of process. The first thing that I'm going to do, it is to delete this one, and I will delete this one as well. I will click on the cube and I will remove. I will come back to the view and I will reactivate show edges and I will reactivate show back face. So we'll create another cube one more times. So something that we'll do, it is to go right click again and we'll create a cube. Oops, I created a cube but not with the option. So right click, create a cube again. So I will define one more time some value. Let's just change a little bit. I will put 40. Here I will put 20 and just here I will put 30. I will put on ground and I will just validate. So now if you want to apply a texture, you need to unwrap. So what does it mean? It means you need to select this mode of selection. You need to click on your object and right click, you have the option UV mapping. So I will select the option UV mapping and now you can find this window appearing here and we can see the cube, we can zoom in, zoom out. First things to do, right click. When you can right click, you can select the type of segment you want to have. So if I click here, I will define projection. You can see the different projection and different color on the different faces. And then you need to unwrap. So you will go right click, you select continue. Here you have different things of selection. It's more advanced things. You just need to, you can keep this color like this. It's not extremely important. So important thing is to go right click and to define continue. So I will define continue and you have unfold. You have different other way of projection. We are going to focus on unfold in this type of case. So I will click on unfold and now you can see we have unfold here and you can find the different faces of the cube like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. If now you go right click, you will have also the possibility to use different options like you can move free and you can move just like this, or you can also scale, for example, just like this, or you can also rotate just like this. But I will use Ctrl Z to come back at the beginning and I will show you, we're going to stay like this. I will show you after how to process in a different way. It's going to be better. So now I'm going to deselect everything first. And I will go on the view option. I will deactivate show edges and deactivate show back face. So now we have the texture. It's just that it's going to be replaced by this type of letter. So now we can import an image to put this and to replace on this one. So we have materials, cube, and here we have this one, and we need to replace this by the texture. So how we can process? Concretely, you can go right click or you just deselect everything, right click, and you can add image. So right click, image. Here you can browse an image. I will go on my desktop and here I created an image as an example with, for example, this one, wood. And I will just validate. So I imported my image, it's appear here. If I double click, I can see my image on this area. And something that I will do, it is to this image, I will just replace on the cube. I will put this inside the cube. So you drag and move the image inside the cube here. And he's going to ask what you want to have. I'm going to show you again. You're dragging and moving here. And what we want to have, we're going to use a base color. Even if you can add more level of the information, but with this software, it will be difficult to focus on different level of information to create a realistic materials. So here we are just going to focus on the base color. So I will click on base color just here. And as you can see, the texture will appear on this area and we replace this one that we have here by our image. If you, inside this, you can go right click on, for example, cube here, edit materials, and you can adjust the metallic value and the roughness value if you need on this area. So it is also something that you can do. So you can adjust with this one. You can also click here. You have also the possibility to click on this area to make these levels of preview. When you go right click here, you have different options, so you can remove, you can also create, for example, a normal map for this texture. If you want to, so this is how we can work. You will have also the possibility to go on window, and you have the UV editor image, but as you can see, if I click here, nothing specific happens. And why nothing specific happens? For a simple reason that we need to select the object. So I can click here, I can select the object, and I will go right click here, and not go right click, I will go on window, and I will define UV editor window. And thanks to that, we can see one more time our element. And when you go right click, you have the possibility to move again. For example, I can move like this, or I can go right click and I can scale to, for example, reduce the size of the texture of our different face, or increase the size of the texture on different face depending on what we do. And also rotate if we need, just like this. So this is the type of things that we can do. And after that, as you can see, we have a rotation. We can see the difference now here because I created some rotation on my element. So extremely important, at any moment, you can come back, you can click here, you can go on window, UV editor window, and thanks to that, you can adjust with right click, move, scale, and rotate. You have more advanced feature, but here we focus on move, scale, and rotate. And I can also come back, you can press shift to add a constraint if you want. So this is the type of things that we can do. I will go right click, maybe I can scale, uniform, and do something like this, and I will go outside. So this is how we can work. At any moment you can remove a material, you can just go right click, and if you want to delete, you can delete your different elements. So as you can see, it's pretty convenient. With this software, you won't have the possibility to work with too advanced features for the materials, but definitely you can create your object, you can create your models, and if you want to create something more realistic, you can add colors and adjust these colors with different values, or you can use this process if you want to add an image directly on your object to create something more realistic like texture. So we are going to stop here for this video. If you like this content, subscribe to these YouTube channels, a lot of graphic content. First link on the description, the complete course Wings3D is available if you want to learn this software. Starting from scratch with the course structure, it will be on the first link on the description. It is a complete course, different hours of training content. We see all the different features on Wings3D, and the aim is what? Is to master this 3D modeling software. At the end of the course, also different training session on the creation of parts and different models, different objects, different models. Second link on the description, the website in link with this YouTube channel. You can discover software in these YouTube channels and have different information about this software. And second link on the description, it is like an online school. You can pick a course and learn any graphic software. So that's it, and for next video I'm going to tell you, see you, ciao ciao.